If there's anything that everyone has their own personal touch to, I think it's doing the dishes. Ever since we've been married, Brett and I have our different ways of doing the dishes and loading the dishwasher, and it can be a little cause of contention, but I personally think I have the most efficient and best method for loading the dishwasher. So let's get started, and we don't even start in the kitchen. The first thing I do before I load my dishwasher, before I do the dishes, is I do a quick sweep around the house and pick up any dirty dishes or anything that needs to be washed from, you know, our offices, like kids leave cups everywhere. So let's go and grab some stuff. Now that I've collected everything out of all the dark corners of my house, I always wear gloves. I have the driest hands on planet Earth, and they always get so just like cracked. So I always wear gloves. And since I still have a lot of stuff I have to do today, I'm gonna wear an apron. I think I got this apron when I was working at Sub-Zero. I worked at an ice cream shop in college for like $7 an hour. It was terrible, but it was fun. I liked, obviously, making stuff for people. Okay, so I've got my apron, and then I always put my hair up because I don't like hair getting all over. I love these gloves. I bought these on Amazon. They're like the best quality ones that I've had. They don't rip, they don't tear, they're great. The first thing whenever I'm loading the dishwasher is that I like to organize and categorize everything. I feel like it just helps me just know like where everything is. So the first thing I always do is cups, and then I always do my silverware last. So to help with this, I usually find like a big like pan or a bowl or a dish or something, and I put all the silverware in here as I'm going. That way I'm not putting a cup in and then a fork and then a plate and then a bowl and then another cup and then another fork and then a knife. Everything goes in different segments. And so while I'm categorizing my dishes, all the silverware goes in this little pot. So if there's any on the top, I'll just put it in there first. First things first is always cups. And for my cups, I always put them on the sides of the top rack. And then if I have glasses, I always do glasses in between plastic cups so then they don't break. So I always alternate. Anything that's even glass like this, little plastic cups. And then once this side fills up, I always do the other side. As I'm going, I always just categorize like items together. So I do this with my laundry as well. I have like all my bowls. I'm just going to put all my bowls in a pile and then just keep going. Also anything big like spatulas and things that go on the top rack, I also put with my silverware. Another thing I always do is when I'm going to, you know, throughout the house trying to find old dishes that need to be washed, I do a little quick inventory of the fridge. If there's anything in the fridge that can be thrown out or washed, I always look in there too. So you can see over here, I've got my small bowls, plates, big bowls, and baking dishes, pots and pans, and all the silverware goes in here. Now I have all of my cups on the very edge, and then like I said, I alternate the glass with plastic so then glass isn't clinking on glass. And then I have everything kind of just organized by like item. I've got plates, all my silverware and things like that in here, big cutting boards and stuff like that. Next I go on to my bowls. So I always stack the bowls going this way. If I have food like this, leftover blueberry French toast, I just dump that. And I don't usually rinse anything or scrub anything off unless it's really bad. But I don't just like throw food in there. I try and alternate plastic with glass as well. Now if there's extra room on top, I will put in just like little bowls, little ramekins, anywhere where things will fit, as well as large spatulas, cooking utensils, those things. I try and have those facing up so then they get washed on both sides, not like this. Just a little bit better. It probably doesn't matter, but also any big spoons that need to be washed, I'll throw in there. Lids. And that looks pretty good. If I have an open area like this where there's only, you know, a couple things, I'll throw in something like this strainer just right on top. Then we have this third rack, which I've never had before. It's amazing. And in here, I'll often just put little things that don't fit either on this top rack or in our silverware drawer. But I try and position it so then the water will hit up. So I try and find little gaps in there because there's no water coming down from the top. Now I'll do the bottom. First thing for the bottom rack is on this back edge. I always do cutting board because it's like the largest spot and then it won't get stuck on the little washer thing. And then I'll do my plates. I like to do my plates biggest to smallest, so we'll do biggest one first. This way, not only does it look better, but it also is easier to clean and put away. Now, if there's room on this side, I usually just fill it up with weird shaped things. So I've got a pie plate. And then if there are any big cups that don't fit on the top, I'll usually find a spot for them down here. What I don't do is I never put anything tall on this edge, so I would never put this right here because that's where the soap comes out and then it will just get mashed up against there. So now I take out the silverware basket and finish that up. Now last is the silverware. So I just take my thing and then I fill up the whole thing. I don't really do this in any kind of pattern, but I do forks up, spoons up, my favorite ThermoWorks, mini spatulas. These are really junky steak knives, so I'm fine with that. Fine with them going in the dishwasher. And then I do knives going down. My mother-in-law got after me one time when I was dating her son about putting knives face down in the dishwasher. Ever since then, I've just done them face down. Or I mean, sharp side down. Yeah. Now what I do before I put this dirty rack of silverware in, because it's like all covered in junk, I give this a good pre-wash. So I just take this, just rinse out the whole basket, and I feel like that just gets a lot of that initial gunk off, because the silverware needs all the help it can get. There you go. Now we put it in the dishwasher. Now, things that we don't have room for, like this. I usually just leave this in the sink because I don't like hand washing stuff. Oh, and then I'll take my Scrub Daddy and wash anything that needs to be hand washed very last. I like using my power wash. This is my rapid defroster tray that I showed in my last Amazon video. This thing is amazing. It defrosts meat and frozen stuff in a fraction of the time. I love it. There's not room for that, but this one actually probably needs to be hand washed, so I'll wash that. Now that the sink is empty, we've got to clean the countertop off. So I'll just disinfect the countertop, the sink, and be done. One more thing I always do before I start the dishwasher is I run the disposal for a couple seconds so then all that sink stuff doesn't like get backed up. I feel like when I don't do the disposal, all that yucky stuff that went down the sink kind of comes up or it goes into the dishwasher. So I always run the disposal. Now I need to spray and sanitize, wipe down all of my countertops, and then I can be done with the dishes. So thanks for following along with me today. If you like this kind of content, let me know. And make sure you watch this video next, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.